And then there came a day like many others. The best Flarking Podcast. Your nerd's eye view of TV, film, comics, and video games. With you as always, your mother Flarking hosts, Dunners and Reach. Fellas, show them who they're flarking with.
Hello, Flarkers of the world. It is that time again for the best Flarking Podcast. I am your host, Dunners to some, and with me as always is my buddy, my compatriot, my companion, my bestest podcasting friend, Reach.
Hey.
Reach, how are you doing, man?
Wonderful. Excited. We're kicking off with just the awesomeness of our schedule and making sure that everything is good to go here and rocking our third in 3 weeks?
Third in two weeks, dude. Yeah, man. You know, it's been a long 2 weeks since Batman vs. Superman came out. The movie's fallen from grace super hard, and we're working harder than ever to make up for their failings for you.
Yeah. You tell no lies.
We wanted to do this one just because there's been a ton of little tidbits that are just kind of interesting. So this is going to be a fairly hit it and quit it, like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Talking about a bunch of really cool, neat, small stuff. First of which being that Mads Mikkilsen has finally been sighted on set, and pissing off just about every nerd on Earth by using the word Mads Mikkelsen's villain revealed. When in actuality, they just mean we got a picture of him. They didn't say shit about who he is. Everyone's still speculating about who that character is and what he's playing.
Clickbait.
Yeah, but they clickbaited the shit out of everyone on every blog. And it's just like, look at these pictures. Look at the pictures. And someone's like, who the fuck is he? Like, revealed means we know who he is, but we don't. But Reed, you got a pretty good theory about who he is.
I had just got done reading Annihilation the other night for a third time, because it's so fucking awesome. And you just have to remind yourself every once in a while about, sort of cosmic events. And there was a guy in there, and his name, the Magus, the opposite of the Warlock, the Atom, the Warlock that we know, being the bestower. No, not bestower. Corrector.
The protector of the Infinity Stones.
So, knowing that we haven't gotten introduced to him yet, I looked at Mads and looked back at some of the panels that I had saw in Annihilation and went, hang on, man. Those eyes and that ponytail look an awful lot like Magus.
And conversely, he's looking a lot less like his original projection of being Nightmare. Like a lot less. Like almost nothing like Nightmare.
Yes.
So I think it's safe to say that Nightmare's off the list. He could be a really weird-looking version of Dormammu if they really wanted to go with it, but he does look a lot more like Magus than anything else.
But it doesn't fit that story, which that's just the weird thing, is it looks so much like it while it's so contrary to that, what they're doing with Doc Strange.
Yeah. Well, what also is really weird with that, too, is that those images that they put out with Mads and his, associate, that the lady that also has, the messed up eyes like him.
I haven't seen it.
It appears that they're in the middle of a busy street, and if you look at some of the other images in that gallery, it looks like Doc Strange and Baron Mordo are running towards them. Okay. I.e., Mordo and Strange come together to fight them later.
I was just going to mention that. Have you seen the GIF of them trying? I think it's going to have to be a green screen thing where they all fly up, but it's just so funny to see Doc Strange leading a group of I forget what's the name of his crew there. But anyways, the 5 of them hopping and skipping upwards as if they were to fly away. But there's nothing that happens. They just go up and then back down.
Yeah, they just hop and then it's over.
But I noticed, I know to your point, I noticed that that Baron Mordo was right next to him.
Yeah, I was like, huh. Are they going to play the angle that Baron Mordo, him and Strange come together to fight? Because then it would make sense for sure that it's not Dormammu and that he's Magus, because, Baron Mordo is Dormammu's best bud. So
how the hell do you bring Magus into that?
I don't know. They could really, really play the cosmic side of things really hard and say that he's really brought to, they could really go that route too.
I'm with it. If they do it.
Be pretty amazing. So you know, if you have any ideas of who you think Mads is, feel free to let us know in the comment section or in the the little tags on the SoundCloud thing. On whatever your preferred form is, or on the Twitter. You know, we're everywhere. We're so on top of this. We're just so social media .cool.everywhere.net.
And if you're old school, send a carrier pigeon.
Exactly. Also pretty neat on the Fox side of things, at least I think so. They announced some of the New Mutants casting for the New Mutants movie, which is also supposed to take place in the late 80s, early 90s. So
yeah, this is something you're going to know more about than I am.
Yeah, so a little bit further down the line from the X-Men Apocalypse movie that comes out, because that's 1983, the year of the Dun, as they call it. And this New Mutants movie is going to take place 5 years after that, which would mean that the New Mutants have been a fixture in this new X-Men universe for 30 years before Negasonic is even introduced, which is kind of strange. I was kind of hoping they would go for the New Mutants angle all in the new timeline with them all grown up, but you can kind of tell that that's not what they're going to do, because they're going to work the whole young Jean Grey, young Scott Summers angle the way that they have wanted to for a long time but couldn't. But that being said, the coolest one of the New Mutants casting is Arya Stark herself being cast as young Wolfsbane, which is actually kind of awesome, because when you think about Maisie Williams and you look at her you know what? She could totally be Wolfsbane. She could. And if you looking at it that they're going to do it as another back in time piece, if they do it where it's the late 80s, early 90s, by the time that Negasonic's there, Wolfsbane could, in theory, be in the mentor position for the New Mutants and a full-fledged X-Men member for many years at that point, and really hit it home that, she's this fully in control of her powers and leading the New Mutants, as opposed to just having Colossus training Negasonic or however they want to play it.
I'm smelling what you're cooking.
You never really can tell with Fox, because they'll throw a whole the universe never mattered at you. They'll just come right down to it and be like, we changed the entire past. X-Men 1, 2, 3, the X-Men Origins and fucking First Class didn't technically really happen the way that they, it's fuck it. We don't give a shit about nothing.
What's that word? Canon? I don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. We don't give a shit. Suck it. We're still going to make another Fantastic Four.
No.
But there are also a few more casting notes. We'll leave that to you to explore on your own, because the only one I really cared about was that Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones and Doctor Who, from basically a nerd princess is moving into the superhero realm now, and she's going to be a fixture in the X universe. So good on her. Good on her. Did you watch World's Finest, the episode of Supergirl with the Flash on it?
Not yet.
All right. I don't watch Supergirl, but I really enjoyed the episode of World's Finest with her and the Flash. They play it really, really well, and two very bubblegummy superheroes, characters who are really upbeat about their superpowers and being good people. They play so well together that the other characters on Supergirl start to get jealous of her and Barry's friendship, namely Jimmy Olsen, who Kara is in love with, and he's in love with her, and he starts getting jealous of Barry. It's pretty great. That being said, not so great for Supergirl. It was left off the set of the first renewals for CBS this year, so potentially it's going to get the axe, and it's not going to be on TV anymore. But worry not, because there might be a place on TV where two of those shows are thriving really hard. And that's the CW, which apparently if CBS cancels it, there's a strong likelihood that it's just going to move to the CW, and you'll end up having more cool crossovers with the Flash running into Kara's universe.
Which I am not opposed to.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that. While they're at it, how about we get Constantine off the ground?
You're still on that Constantine.
Dude, I hold out hope that for a second season of Constantine. It was so good. It was so damn good. It was really, really good.
It's on my list to download.
So
I gotta watch that.
I really liked it. But, it not being on the first set of renewals doesn't mean it's not gonna get renewed. It just means that there were 6 other shows that for surely were not going to be passed up. And, it's Supergirl's doing what they call riding the bubble. And they're probably going to see how the season finale does. And if the season finale crushes, they'll bring it back. But if it doesn't, then, they'll axe it and it'll move to CW because its numbers on CBS are low because CBS is like the #1 network in America and CW most certainly isn't. So the numbers that it does on CBS are bad for CBS, but they're actually quite good for CW. So it might be good to just move it so it's at home with the rest of Greg Berlanti's shows. And that way he could actually have his hand in all of them and not have to run between the CBS lots and the CW lots.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it's got to be better than what's going on with Arrow right now.
Oh, man. Talk about the death of the Black Canary?
Just the entirety of the season or show, or just the weakness that it's become.
Oh, you haven't liked any season? You don't like the whole Damien Dark thing at all?
Nah.
Well, I think...
I don't know. I just wonder if their budget got cut or something. The fight scenes are just horrendous. And
I don't think Arrow's gotten that much worse.
It's not even Arrow anymore. You might as well call it Felicity.
Yeah, it is kind of... They kind of turned into that whole, like... those two love story, and then the will they won't they, and then there are definitely problems with this season, and nothing can really pinpoint that more than the fact that Legends of Yesterday, the episode where the Flash crossed over, is the only one that truly was important to me all year, and that's because the Flash is just continuing to be great.
Yes.
With are you all caught up? You're all caught up on the Flash. The promo for
his own timeline.
Yeah, and then we see a time wraith for the first time, which is pretty awesome. And then the fact that the preview for this next week.
I haven't watched it. What do we got? Who do we got?
Well,
what do we got?
The episode for this coming week is called Versus Zoom.
Uh-oh.
And it's basically, we find out that Cisco's ability to vibe can actually reopen the rifts between the worlds.
Motherfucker.
Yep, and basically what's going to happen is that he's going to have Cisco open the rift and he's going to run into Earth 2 to go fucking fight Zoom, is what's going to happen. So we're getting there. We're getting close to it, and, it's time for Hunter Zolomon's little punk ass to pay.
Yeah.
So that's going down in the Flashiverse. Flashiverse. The Flashiverse.
My body's ready.
Dude, you know what my body's ready for? That fucking awesome Hawkeye suit.
Oh my god, yes.
Dude, does he not just look straight up Hawkeye to the max
finally.
Now? It only took 6 movies.
Only. Fuck.
It only took a bunch of movies to get him to actually have a purple Hawkeye suit.
So wonderful.
And maybe we can get him to have a fucking, a cowl at some point. I'm not pushing for it. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to worry about it. But you know what? I would like a hat with an H on it so people can know that he's there and he's ready to brawl.
In case they forget.
Ready to bring it to town. Oh, we'll include the link to that image in the Facebook write-up for when we just put the episode up. So that way you can go, oh yeah, the Hawkeye thing. Or if we're really cool, we'll just rip the images and we'll post them to our Facebook page for you. We can just do it like that, and that way you don't have to go anywhere else. That Facebook page, of course, facebook.com/motherflarker for all your mother flarkin needs. Keeping in with the Civil War shit, last night, Marvel decided to just be like, guess what? It's fucking press screening time. Which normally, that's, you're like, Adam, who gives a shit? Press screenings happen all the fucking time. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. But they normally happen about a week to 2 weeks before the movie comes out.
Not this fucking early.
Not a full month before it comes out. And that probably, has nothing to do with the fact that Batman's getting a ton of bad press. And
I love your whole, what you had just sent me. It was just so perfect and spot on.
It really is. It's a smart business move for Marvel to be like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. And let's
30
go ahead.
days early. We're that confident.
Yeah, we're that confident in our movie that we'll put it out to the press 30 days early. And we're going to make sure that when the press says that they fucking love it, which they all did, not a single negative thing said about it out of the reviews. The only negative thing was by someone trolling who was like, oh yeah, apparently Spider-Man plays bocce ball in the movie, and people are like, what? And he's like, no, I'm just messing around.
Oh my God.
That was the only thing that really got tagged in there as bad.
Actually, you know what? I saw a tweet that I guess could kind of live in that same vein as bad in our realm of what would be bad for this. And that was that somebody just gave the Winter Soldier just a slight nod above Civil War, but it's just as spectacular and everything else. And
from what I saw, the consensus was Winter Soldier's a better told story because the third act, the actual like story elements, kind of limp to their conclusion in Civil War. But the action in Civil War blows everything we've ever seen from any Marvel out of the water. One of the things I think the guy from Deadline Hollywood said was, I would pay $15 to watch the 20-minute airport fight scene on a loop for 3 hours.
Oh my God.
So he's like,
that's amazing.
So that's pretty incredible. That being that, in addition to all of that stuff that's happening, we have been told from these critics as well that Spider-Man has a significant amount of screen time.
Yes, that's what.
It's not a cameo.
No.
He's in it apparently as Peter Parker for about 10 minutes, and he's in it as Spider-Man for about 20.
With almost every other character in the film.
Exactly. So it's like, wow, they actually gave Spider-Man a huge chunk of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because they're not doing much showing of him, you know? So we get to see him, and we're going to get to wait until it's time.
No,
the thing that excites me,
no, it's all good.
You do it.
I'd favorited a bunch of tweets. No, you go. No, you.
You do it. You do it.
I'm telling you. I saw as soon as it came out today, and I just ran down the Civil War hashtag and just tried to grab every awesome tweet that I could possibly find that would make any damn sense and not spoil anything in a sense, kind of. But somebody was saying Tom Holland is the greatest Peter Parker and Spider-Man ever put to the screen. It made a ball. It made me ball. Somebody else had said something about, where is it? There are things in Captain America Civil War I thought I'd never get to see on the big screen when I was a kid. It's just, man, I cannot wait to see this film. Really didn't think I'd care that much about seeing Spider-Man hanging out with all the other characters, but there he was, and it made me happy.
You know, it's one of those things where you don't think about it in terms of like, man, Spider-Man has a really big impact on the Marvel Universe until you realize that, holy shit, he's kind of a linchpin between so many characters.
Oh my God.
That it's just like, oh yeah. He's super important.
Yeah, and that happens every time you read a Spider-Man comic, I think. I mean, that to me it does.
Well, I mean, he runs into everybody, and I think that's kind of the coolest thing is I think he's one of the only A-listers in Marvel's universe who also really does have a connection to the street-level heroes. He ends up a lot in, he teams up a ton with Daredevil, and he shows up a lot in Luke Cage and stuff like that because he still does stop street-level stuff in addition to being a part of, like, the world-ending super events. Like, he'll still stop a mugger in Central Park, those kind of things. So I think that's really awesome, and I completely understand. I mean, the moment that he plops down in that trailer, I shit my pants. I was like, I was basically like Will Grello in the Quiltin' with Will sketch from Tim and Eric. And I was like, I'm gonna need some new pants. I need a fresh pair of pants.
Next time, wear your brown
now.
pants.
Exactly. I didn't take Deadpool's advice at all on the matter.
No.
And I wore the wrong pants. What's got me most excited from these critics talking about all this stuff, though, has to be the fact that everyone's like, Spider-Man steals the show, as you may expect. As you might not expect, in a razor-close second, is the AntMan.
Yep.
And it's like, woo! The AntMan!
Yep.
Stealing Civil War like he's fucking supposed to, because he's the goddamn Ant-Man. And the best part is like reading the tweets where it's like, this movie will go to show you that Ant-Man beating up the Falcon wasn't that the Falcon is a lower tier hero. It's that it's fucking impossible to fight someone you can't hit. So I'm super excited. And one of the critics who was talking about the movie, because there's only so much they're allowed to talk about with these things. And
which is what I wondered, who gets these passes, because a lot of these people have very low follower counts. And not that is your judgment of like your caliber.
But a lot of them are writers for bigger establishments.
Sure,
their personal followings aren't that huge, but the companies they work for
they
are.
Just personally don't give a shit about their following.
Right, exactly, because it's not how that works for their
but they
their
just
particular
took
brand.
it to express their opinion of this film through their personal channel versus the other.
Who knows, man? But it is insinuated that a reason that Ant-Man is so razor close to Spider-Man in stealing the show is that because those two have a pretty amazing fight scene in the movie.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping that that's true and that's not just, a lot of like fanboy projecting out there, because I really would like to see Ant-Man and Spider-Man go at it.
Until now, and now it's going all sorts of places.
Because
holy moly.
Because think about how cool it would be to have, Peter try and whip and web Scott, but Scott just runs along
the webbing.
And just like jumps and grows big and then like just drills Spider-Man, or goes Giant Man to get out of being stuck to a wall or something.
Oh my god.
Tell
me we're gonna do it. Nobody's mentioned it. We've seen it in toys. We've seen it hinted at in Ant-Man. Are we gonna get it?
I hope to God we get a Giant Man moment in this, because I think it would be awesome.
If we do, it'll be slight though, right? We're not gonna get a
I think what we'll get
story.
We'll probably get him like 20, 30 feet tall. Like we'll get a Giant Man.
Yeah.
Like
a bigger man, but not like stature.
I think the way I anticipate it is that if it's him and Spider-Man fighting, I think Scott goes Giant Man and swats Spidey out of the air. Is what it is. It's just
you had to, didn't you? Yep.
Just bats him right to the ground, and then he like puts his hand down on him and like holds him down. Is like what it is, and that'll be what it is. But
I love your brain.
Who knows? I mean, if he doesn't go Giant Man, I'm not worried about it. I would love for him to go Giant Man though. That sounds awesome.
It does.
So I'm super into that. As please make that happen. Please not make that happen. Please have that be the thing.
Please,
come on, please.
Damn it.
Also, you know who else is begging like, please, God, please, no, please, no, please.
Us
like
Wolverine
Michael Scott
fans.
Yeah.
For the third one to finally be right, not only in storytelling, but who we get for our fucking villain, man.
Yeah, oh Jesus. They didn't announce who he's gonna play, but they did announce that Boyd Holbrook of Narcos will be the main villain in Wolverine, citing him as the security chief for an international security organization who has his sights set on the Wolverine. Looking at like Wolverine's past list of people that he's fought, I mean, there's only a few people that really come to mind in there, and with the way Boyd Holbrook looks, it feels like the internet's kind of right on this one, that he looks like Omega Red. But unless they're gonna
still.
Yeah, unless they're gonna really change Omega Red and like not make him a Cold War era weapon,
right?
Then he's gonna be a lot different.
So let's speculate a little bit quick. What else is there left on as true wanting to go after Wolverine villains? Who the hell else could?
Cyber from the 90s.
Okay.
The dude with the adamantium arms and teeth. And he is, he's like, his whole MO has just been going after Wolverine. I mean, there's also Daken, which is his kid.
Oh, Daken.
Yeah, so like that could be an angle. Man. I mean, if you want to dip into the X-Men branch of villains, like the Executioner, he was, he was, not the one with the like tornadoes thrown out of his hands from the Avengers, like the letter X - Cutioner, the one that was from like the early 90s from the like Extinction Agenda.
The only X -
comics
executioners I know are the Turntablists.
Well, there are two of them in the Marvel universe. There's just the Executioner, who has like the scythe for a hand. And,
okay,
like, the
I was
big
gonna
green
say
helmet.
I think I remember a guy with a scythe for a hand.
Yeah, and then there's the like Executioner who like hunted mutants, and he had like an actual like scythe that he used that like could throw like purple energy, like all the 90s. Everyone in the 90s threw purple energy.
Yep.
Everyone had purple energy going on.
Purple and pink.
Yeah, they had something going on in there with some energy chucks. So, I mean, we'll have to just wait and see who he turns out to be.
Correct.
I don't mind if he's Omega Red and they change his story a bit, because I
still don't even know a damn synopsis. So, does that? Yeah, we usually go through casting, then synopsis, then.
Yeah, I don't have any faith.
Yeah, you're just checked out, aren't you?
Like, I mean, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna go see it. But like Wolverine, lives in the like, and this bums me out because I fucking love Wolverine. I got Clawspacer tattoos on the top of my hands.
Oh yeah.
I love the Wolverine. I love him as a character. I fucking hate both of those Wolverine movies. They're terrible. And for the most part, I dislike Wolverine.
I was like 2. What?
Well, there's X-Men Origins Wolverine, and there's the Wolverine, and they're both bad. X-Men Origins Wolverine's the one with Ryan Reynolds with his mouth sewn shut.
Yeah.
The Wolverine's the one where he fights a giant cyborg or a cybernetic robot suit that's supposed to be the Silver Samurai.
It's terrible.
Yeah, just terrible. And the idea that adamantium can cut adamantium if it's hot is ridiculous. I used an adamantium drill to drill into your adamantium nubs. I'm like, I really want to leave right now, but I know there's only 15 minutes left. There's only 15 minutes left. I'll stay. I'll stay for it. But like,
I remember that feeling not too long ago.
Yeah, I want to leave, but I'll stay.
But I have to do this.
I have to stay. So I don't know. I'm so checked out of the Wolverine movies that it's just gonna be like they're gonna just be like, yeah, it's gonna be Sabretooth wearing the like fucking fur boa brown suit with the yellow legging stripes. I'm like, cool, really? A traditional Sabretooth? Into it. That sounds great. And Wolverine's gonna wear the yellow and blue. It could just basically be everything that I've loved about Wolverine and be like, I don't know though. Those last two were pretty bad. But they're like, we're going hard R. We know how you kids love those hard R.
Oh yeah.
Hard R. Hard R.
And to that point, though, the hard R thing in Deadpool, and wouldn't this movie be that much greater if somehow, you know, Hugh doing the whole old man Logan thing and trying to get behind his role as much as Ryan got behind Wade really actually worked for him?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like
it would be awesome.
He tried to do it, and nobody gave a fuck.
Well, I mean, he gave a fuck, but like nobody else who actually produced the movie gave a fuck,
right.
Like in the Wolverine movies, because Hugh has never, like, even as an actor, like he's never been a bad Wolverine. The stories that Wolverine has been involved in are bad. But like the worst part about Wolverine in all of these X-Men movies and spin-offs and whatever and what have you is the fact that the only time he ever gets to really be Wolverine and take care of fucking business is when he's protecting the kids at the X-Mansion in the second X-Men. That's the only time he's ever been super badass.
Yeah.
Every other time he gets his ass kicked. Like he got his ass kicked by Lady Deathstrike. He gets his ass kicked by Juggernaut. Gets his ass kicked by Magneto. He gets his ass kicked by everybody. He gets his ass kicked by that guy who instantly grows his arms back in X-Men 3.
Emotional ass kicked by Jean Grey.
You know, he gets his emotional ass kicked by that guy who kills the grizzly bear. So like, you know, he gets his ass beat by everyone. He gets beat up by what was it, Copperhead?
Damn it.
You know, he gets beat up by everybody. Like, you know, it's just kind of, it's super weird. You can't really have a character who's known as the best there is at what he does.
Yeah.
Never be the best there is at what he does ever.
You make a fair point, sir.
It's just kind of crazy. You know, like they knew Wolverine was super popular. They just never knew how to package him in a way that made sense, because it's like, oh, well, he's not family friendly. It's like, newsflash, the fucker isn't family friendly. Like, the reason he's like so popular is because he's the anti-hero. He's the antithesis of what the X-Men are, but they have him on there. Like, you could easily be like, oh yeah, the Wolverine could be a supervillain.
Yeah.
For sure. But you know, it's like the reason that Charles kept him around in the beginning, even like in panel, they have it where it's just like, man. It's just like in panel, they have it right there that he's talking to Cyclops, and it says it's better to keep him here and to keep track of him than to let him go free on his own. Like, it's the only reason they keep him in the beginning is because they're scared he's gonna go fucking murder a bunch of people, you know, until they can find a way to like have him truly resonate and become part of the team.
And he would,
you know, oh, absolutely. He's on Punisher level. He has absolutely zero problem ending someone.
Yep.
Not at all. Like, not at all a problem. So there's just so many bad things, bad taste in my mouth from the Wolverine movies prior to this. Hopefully this last one is really good, and they send Hugh off. They send Hugh off into the sunset with a really good Wolverine movie.
Awesome.
So I would be all for that.
It seems to be the theme lately, though, on the ones that have been going the way of bad are kind of turning around. So hopefully we can continue with that theme. Yeah,
it would be nice. Another theme that's going to be continuing if you want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Gal
I don't
Gadot
want to, but we got to talk about it because it just keeps on keeping on.
The wonderful Gal Gadot, one of the few shining, bright, beautiful spots of Batman vs Superman: The Dawn of Justice, has said that Wonder Woman isn't going to be as lighthearted as Wonder Woman is in the comic books, and she won't be as uplifting. It's going to be just as dark as Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel.
Oh, there's a fucking surprise.
Which is very disheartening, because it feels like that's a mandate from the studio at this point, that it needs to be that dark, because none of the people who made Batman vs Superman, except for the executive producing team, are involved with Wonder Woman. So it's kind of a bummer to be like, yeah, we should make a really dark Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because,
because it's not a dark story.
Because it most certainly didn't fall flat for Batman versus Superman, and it's not like your fan base's patience is running out for shit that's just dark for darkness' sake.
What Instagram filter can we add to this?
So it's just like, let's crush it all down, and then let's take out any humor or heartfelt moments and just make her fight people. So that's a bummer. But this, Gal Gadot says this, and then out of nowhere, Jeff Bewkes, I don't know if that's exactly how it's pronounced, but it's Bewkes,
okay,
the CEO of Warner Brothers, has said that he personally will start having a hand in all of the DC Cinematic Universe stuff going forward, because it does not seem to have a guiding hand at the helm, and he believes that the DCCU needs someone like a Kevin Feige of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to take care of their properties and to make sure that the vision is unified and that everything is marching towards a common goal, which is kind of just like him saying, you know what, Marvel is doing it right. We should probably strive to be more Marvel-like.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that being said, Batman vs Superman is by far not a failure financially. It's made over $700 million worldwide.
No.
But the thing about it is that looking at what it costs to make the movie, which was $275 million, plus the fact that you have to factor in all the marketing, which they usually do, you do the cost of the movie and then you double it for the marketing side of things.
Yep.
You're looking at $550 million to break even. Yep. So the movie only made about $200 million. So right now, profit-wise, it's made less money in the pockets of Warner Brothers than AntMan did for Marvel. So you think about that and it's like, oh, that ain't that tight. But Warner is shrugging it off, and they're like, we're thinking of the long game. We're not worried about individual week-to-week performance of our films. It's like, I would say that, too, if my movie dropped off 81% in the first week. The highest drop-off in the history of film. But, we don't need to fucking sandbag.
Is it in the history?
Yeah, I think 81% is the highest ever.
Oh, my God.
I don't think we need to, I don't think we need to sandbag Batman vs Superman. It did a good enough job beating itself up.
Sandbagging anything.
And we did a really good job beating the shit out of it 2 weeks ago. So
I really do, though. Once it's out on Blu-ray, we should sit down with our silhouettes in front and do an MST3K.
Oh, dude, what we should do is get a live thing going. Like maybe do the Southern Theater, have a live screening, and we do like a live riff on Batman vs Superman.
With it.
If that's something everyone's
into, to sit
into,
in front of and just go in.
Yeah, we'll bring some special guests, and we'll try and work it out. We'll get the 3-hour long R-rated cut.
Yes.
Because we'll want some of that stuff that we have no idea is supposed to be in the movie, like the shit with Batgirl or Oracle, rather. I'm sorry, she's already been she's already been paralyzed at this point in the DCCU. Of course, no Batgirl, only paralyzed Oracle. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, DCCU apparently gonna take a hand and govern it and mold it and form it.
Well, good. I feel so much better now.
They're gonna do their little stuff and make it work.
Oh man.
Back to Marvel news though. Marvel and their continuing march towards dominance of all media, past, present, and future.
That's accurate. That's so accurate.
Freeform, which used to be ABC Family, Freeform, as you know, is the dumbest name for a TV channel ever.
I wondered what the hell it was because that's all it kept saying it was going to be on. And I'm going, okay, just tell me what the fucking number of the channel is that I need to turn on.
And all the promos for it are like hashtag Freeform. It's like, is the channel called hashtag Freeform or just Freeform?
Do I type that into my TV? Because I'm pretty sure I can't go to channel Freeform.
No one knows. In Xfinity remote, channel Freeform. Are you a 14-year-old girl?
Right.
No, then you can't watch Freeform. The end.
Got a whole flow chart for this shit.
As you guys know from my story from talking about it a little bit like last week and the week before, I shit on Cloak and Dagger in front of people who work for Marvel during our time on AntMan, and they were like, "Oh, we're developing Cloak and Dagger." I'm like, "Oh, that's too bad for me, huh?"
This is awkward.
And this is now it's official. Freeform has a full series order for Cloak and Dagger. I have worries about this, not because I just don't like Cloak and Dagger, which I don't, but I don't like.
Wait, was that a double negative or?
No,
you do like Cloak and Dagger. Or you don't like Cloak and Dagger.
I don't like Cloak and Dagger. I have concerns, which is not because I don't like them. They're concerns for different reasons.
Yes.
My biggest concern about it being is that like the programming on Freeform is shit I don't really care for, like the life of the American teen.
No, sure, and this is described in this fucking synopsis.
It's like it sounds like they're gonna create a pretty teen show, like a Pretty Little Liars, but with Cloak and Dagger, who are relatively dark street level heroes in the Marvel universe, which, my not caring for them aside, they should probably get a Netflix show if they're going to get one.
I was hoping so.
So that's a little odd for me to be like, oh, cool.
They're turning them into young teens.
Yeah, it's like Cloak, who can trap people in the dark dimension and teleport anywhere on Earth with his cloak.
No idea.
And Dagger with her light daggers, which either can suck all the life out of someone or bring people back from the brink of death. I was like, okay, cool. That doesn't really sound like something you should make into a teen show, but you know what? Not my money. I'm not Marvel. They're just like, you know what? Who gives a shit? Who cares what we do at this point? We're gonna make a Howard the Duck Moon Knight buddy comedy on CBS. We don't know what we're doing. We don't give a shit about anything. We know that it's gonna probably be number one on Tuesday nights, though.
You know what though? And it'll be interesting to see what they do for legitimate costumes for these two. Because I can't think of another female superhero that has had the very condescending uniform, the boob window that has had to come to TV or film yet.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think there is anyone who's had the boob window who's had to come to TV or film. Like when for our listeners who, if you don't know the boob window, the boob window is a very popular. I was gonna say 90s, but I was like 70s, 80s,
all time
90s.
They still love that shit.
Every point in history where the tactical displaying of a woman's cleavage is part of her suit. Most infamously by Power Girl. If you want to Google Power Girl, be careful.
Yeah,
don't do it at work. Don't do it at work.
No. Good heads up there.
Yeah, it's just like don't do it at work. But you can see that she's got probably the boobiest of window. But Dagger also has a very booby window suit. She also wears like a completely white leather cat suit. Like imagine Black Widow's suit from S.H.I.E.L.D., but no pockets or belts or anything on it. Just kind of like a 70s porn star suit.
Yeah.
Like that kind of cat suit. And that's what she wears. And she has like blue paint on her face for effect or whatever. And she throws light daggers and stuff like that. So it's going to be really odd to see what the costume redesign is, because there's going to have to be one.
There has to be one.
There's no way that they're going to let that fly as it is right now. So, coming probably this time next year, we'll have an episode being like, oh man, fucking Cloak and Dagger. And it's like, oh, we loved it. We hated it. Because that's what I hear when both of us are talking about on the show.
Yeah.
I basically, when I
listen to us talk about agents, didn't you?
When I go back and listen to recaps of our episodes, it's just like peanuts. Wah, wah, wah. So that's what I hear. But yeah, I don't know. Are any of you guys out there Cloak and Dagger fans? Another thing to weigh in on if you haven't weighed in on all the other stuff that we're talking about today. Let us know if you like Cloak and Dagger and if you think I'm fucking way off base on it, because I don't like them. I've never liked them. I just don't care for the characters.
Never read the
at all.
I mean, actually, I shouldn't say never read the comic, but did when I was a kid. I didn't retain any of the information.
The most I've ever cared for Cloak and Dagger is the fact that you use Cloak as a teleportation device in X-Men Legends 2.
He actually, he did get more use later on.
Yeah, he's a teleportation device in X-Men Legends 2, the video game, and that's like as most of I've ever actually cared about that character. So, but I'll tell you something I do care about deeply after I saw it.
Tell me about it.
Star Wars Rogue One trailer, dude. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm way in.
I'm super in.
I'm way into this. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, it's beautiful looking. I like Gareth Edwards as a director, even though I didn't like Godzilla. I did not dig Godzilla that much. Didn't hate Godzilla. I was just super bored by it. It's kind of like it's not Batman vs Superman. It's Batman Superman. It's not. But I was like, I'll just compare it to Batman vs Superman. That's something you were kind of like whatever about. But that's what I was about Godzilla. But I loved Monsters, though. I thought that was really, really good. And I think his spinoff looks fucking fantastic.
I still have to finish Monsters. Did he do the sequel? I think I saw something on Netflix recently.
He did not do the sequel.
Okay, so don't pay attention to that.
So, he only did the first one. But this trailer looks awesome. And let's go ahead and address the first thing that the internet did immediately upon seeing Jyn Erso. That's Rey's mom. That's Rey's mom. It's got to be Rey's mom. That's totally Rey's mom, right? And it's like, well, if A New Hope happens back then, and there's like 5 years total. 5 years total till the end of Jedi, and Force Awakens takes place 30 years after. If Jyn Erso is like 20, she could, in theory, be Rey's mom, because she would have had Rey like 20 years after that when she's 40, and then Rey would have grown up to being 18, which would fit the timeline. But I don't know where they're playing Rey in age-wise. Like, it seems like a stretch. Like, internet, it feels like you just want... Like,
this is what Marvel did. Marvel did this.
Well, they just... I think everyone just wants answers to who Rey's parents are so bad that they're like... Bad,
but everybody wants shit to be connected. You can't tell a story in the same universe anymore and have it be outside of the main story.
Rey is the daughter of Darth Maul and Leia. That can't possibly be the case. No, I saw it. It's Count Dooku and General Grievous have a baby, and it's Rey. It's like, those are two dudes, I think. Like, no, she's force conceived like Anakin. Oh, that's why she's so powerful. It was
immaculate.
And when Obi-Wan shot Grievous's body, Rey popped out in stasis. Well, that's my theory. She's General Grievous's daughter.
Spoiler.
My mouth will just drop to the floor. It's like, she's General Grievous's daughter. Holy shit, really?
Oh.
I made fun of that 5 years ago. Holy shit, man. That's crazy.
I'll do something crazy.
Rogue One looks awesome. The shots of the Death Star being built, like having the trailer being like a secret weapon's being built and we don't know what it is, and it's like, oh my god, they're talking about the Death Star, and it's like, oh dude, it's like Rogue One is about the fucking Bothan spies, isn't it? It's about, in A New Hope, and they're like, many Bothans died to bring us this information. I'm like, holy shit, this is gonna be the story about how the fucking Bothans get murdered by fucking Vader and the crew because they steal the plans of the Death Star. Which obviously, spoiler alert, gets blown up in New Hope. Oh, I did it. I spoiled Star Wars A New Hope. I spoiled it for everyone. I win. Take that, internet. You fools.
Mic drop.
Well, no, we can't do mic drops because a bunch of people got all fucked up on April 1st from Google doing that mic drop thing. I don't know if you saw, but there were a few like funeral homes.
It was amazing.
It's like, oh my god, they mic dropped someone's dead grandparent. That ain't right.
So right.
Well, and then Google's like, we're sorry.
No,
we're so very, very sorry.
For the Star Wars discussion here, we should have had our boy Pete on. Actually, he knows a shit ton.
Are you saying Pete is basically like the Grand Moff Tarkin of our Star Wars discussions? Like he's like Tewanawanga, like that's who he is. Like he's like the Bib Fortuna. Like he's an R2D5 droid. He's gonna get me because I don't know what the R5 droid's actual call number is. I also don't know what the call number of the fucking trash can.
Keep going.
I also don't know what the call number of the trash can droid is, but everyone fucking freaked out. The trash can droid showed up in the trailer. That's right. And I was like, oh, I'm a fucking trash can droid. And I was like, I'm a bad nerd because I don't know his fucking numbers. Yeah. That's fucking great.
You're not a bad nerd.
I'm going to start referring.
You're not a bad nerd.
I'm going to start referring to Pete as the Max Rebo of our podcast. Yes. And he's going to be there fucking playing the piano and shit.
No, he was my God. The white. Who's the dude in the white robe?
Oh, I have no idea who the new guy's name is.
You knew.
Oh, I mean, I know he's one of the dudes from the expanded universe that survived. That's why people were super excited about that, because he's one of the EU guys who survived the culling, so to speak, of the expanded universe stuff. Because I'll bet Pete is one of those guys where it's like, you see, in the expanded universe, and just like he knows all the books and shit too. And like as far as my extent of the expanded universe goes, is super minuscule. My nerdlery,
Grand Moff Tarkin.
My nerdlery does not extend.
That's the one in the white robe, supposedly.
That's supposed to be Tarkin when he's young, or what?
That's what he said. He said white is Grand Moff Tarkin, black is Vader.
Well, I knew that him kneeling in front of the Imperial Guards was going to be Vader. I figured that would be the case, but I thought the dude in the white uniform wasn't Grand Moff Tarkin. I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to look it up now. I'm going to let someone else comment and tell me who it is, because I don't have the time. I ain't got the time for that. I got the time to click around and tickety type. I'm over here trying to make it happen for you guys.
Try to just call it as we see it.
Yeah, I calls him like I sees him, and I don't think he's a Grand Moff Tarkin, if you know what I'm saying, brother. I don't know why I went Hulk Hogan there, but it's probably because I recently watched No Holds Barred. I recently watched No Holds Barred, and after watching No Holds Barred, I go a little bit Hulk Hogan every now and again.
I need to watch. What's the one with Courtney Cox's husband?
Oh, are you talking about Ready to Rumble?
Yes. That
Dude,
is
I'm
my
the king.
shit.
I am the king of that particular game that happens. Where it's like, what's that movie? It's got that dude's friend from that other thing, and then I'll just say what it is. Like I'm the king of that game.
Dude,
I'm super good at that. I'm super good at that game. But I gotta correct you. He's not Courtney Cox's husband anymore.
What?
David Arquette is her ex-husband.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, sorry, I haven't kept up with my pop culture. Fuck.
Yeah. If you're not keeping up on David Arquette, you are a bad nerd.
Jeez.
He was in Bone Tomahawk though, so you saw him recently.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's in it
it wasn't he the one who had the done to him.
You don't really see him for very long. He gets taken real quick.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
So he gets a very particular set of skills put on him in Bone Tomahawk. Very particular.
Dude, Ready to Rumble. Oh my God, I gotta go back and watch that now that you were talking about wrestling movies.
No Holds Barred. Oh yeah, buddy. Sometimes you just gotta have a Hulk Hogan movie marathon, which he's not in Ready to Rumble, but like gotta watch No Holds Barred and Suburban Commando and Mr. Nanny. You just gotta sit down and watch the three of them and be like, wow, all of these came out in the theaters. Like,
they did too.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, all these movies were theatrically released.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There was a time when every movie was not a blockbuster.
It's just like, my God. Holy smokes, man.
I remember the days.
I do want to touch on this really quick too.
Touch on it.
I bought a game yesterday, and I highly recommend it for anyone who likes roguelikes. It's called Enter the Gungeon. Not dungeon, Gungeon. All the enemies are made of bullets and grenades, and you like run around shooting them with guns. It's like, imagine your favorite roguelikes like Binding of Isaac mixed with bullet hells like R-Type. Like merge those together, and you got Enter the Gungeon. I'm addicted to it. and I'm finding it's working its way into stealing my Overwatch time as of yesterday. So it's really, really good.
Then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also need to rank up some more in Overwatch, so I can rock and roll in the ranked play, because I just introduced ranked play.
Hell yeah.
That also being said, I'm going to use this time to plug my own shit. Every night of the week, I stream on Twitch now, so you can get even more of me if you're not fucking just sick of hearing my voice by the end of one of these. You can listen to me talk, and you can actually interact with me live on Twitch, which is just twitch.tv/adunners, and then there's like a whole schedule up on my Twitch site of what I play and when I play it.
Look at you.
So, yeah, I know, right? I redid everything to take the best parts of yours and Sarah's and make my own out of it. It looks like I did my own thing, but I really just kind of stole your guys' stuff and made my own thing out of it. Woo!
That's okay. That's what we all do.
I'm the Robin Hood of Twitch design elements. Yes!
Everybody steals.
Everyone's out there stealing and wheeling and dealing.
No, okay. Well, if you're going to touch on some quick things, then I'm going to too, and hop in with a quick little tidbit of refreshed anime. The boy Pete, speaking of, again, in a random conversation the other day, brought up Ronin Warriors. I'm not sure if anybody remembers that.
I have the whole series on my Plex box.
Oh my God. Why have we not talked about this then?
I mean, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Talpa? You want to talk about Anubis? What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Hariel's Armor of the White Fire? What do you want to talk about?
I got to catch up again, man. I got to get familiar. Last time I watched it, I was an adolescent. I mean,
what do you want to talk about? Sage of the
Halo?
Sage of the Halo? You want to talk about Sai of the Torrent?
Kento Wildfire?
Kento Harrock?
Yes.
Or Ryo of the Stratus?
All of them, man. Come on.
Or Rowan of the Stratus.
It was the greatest. Oh, my God.
Oh, it was a good show.
The transformations, just everything.
Wildfire! Dao-Ji!
Oh my God.
And then fucking like the cherry blossom petals settle and turn into armor.
Or the drums that come in quick with dum 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 dum. Amazing.
I mean, I still to this day, when like I'm just beating up on my now super yoked out of his mind bodybuilder brother, I'll just be like, quake with fear!
Yes.
Web of Deception! Oh man, like Web of Deception was my favorite. Like, I think, maybe, actually, you know what? Sekhmet was my favorite because it's
he's in the first, like, Snake Fang strike. Yeah. 6 arms.
Yeah.
That's where I started it again. I'm 5 episodes in. Just loving it again.
Ronin Warriors was pretty much, full disclosure, I don't really like anime at all, but there are some that I do care for quite deeply. Ronin Warriors is one of them.
That's straight. What about it made you?
There's a very I don't particularly like the storytelling aspects of a lot of.
Oh yeah, no, they're terrible.
Of anime.
Mostly.
They bother me. I also don't like the art style in a lot of them. There are certain ones where it's like I don't consider like Miyazaki films traditional anime. Like I just think those are amazing works of animation.
Yes.
Like Ronin Warriors I dig because I just like Power Rangers and all that shit. I love the idea of just like color coded armor.
Yes.
Characters. I forever. Well, I fucking love
and
it.
Themes to their own. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love all of that kind of shit. Like Evangelion I liked, even though that's kind of super weird. Yep. Cowboy Bebop's amazing.
Great. Yeah.
So there are some. It's not like one of those where I'll just be like, anime's for fucking losers, because there are pieces of every art form that are obviously transcend their own medium and they reach out beyond that. But I will say that anime really isn't for me for the most part. But I will say there are two animes that are like in fanboy anime stuff that I do like, which kind of contradict the fact that I dislike them. The elements everywhere else, and that's Ranma 1/2 and Tenchi Muyo in Love are 2 animes that I actually really liked growing up, and I still have a soft spot in my heart for them, but they have all the elements of shit that I hate in anime. Like they're like to the tilt, like full tilt things I hate about anime, but I love them in those 2 things. I also can watch the first Pokemon movie a lot too.
Nice.
The Mewtwo fighting Mew Pokemon movie. I'll watch that like a motherfucker. But otherwise, I don't really care for anime.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying you shouldn't like it out there, everyone else. I'm just saying that I think it sucks for me as a person. But it's weird because anime fans are much like comic book fans or video game console fanboys.
Yeah.
They get super defensive about how they feel about their stuff. And it's like, oh, I don't really like anime. What, don't you get it? What do I not get? What do you mean? Do I not get the cartoon? No, I get it. Like the themes aren't. It's not like I'm reading fucking The Mirror Theory here. I'm like it's. I'm watching a movie about a dude who has like a samurai god hidden inside of him, and he uses it to fight for justice. Trust me, I get what's going on. It's just I don't like it. Why not? How could you not like it?
Well, I'll tell you what doesn't help it is English voice actors.
Yeah, English voice actors don't help it. I think also like one of my biggest problems with anime has less to do with the actual art form itself and a lot to do with the fans.
No, that's fair.
The fans actually bother me immensely. And it's not like your standard issue fans who are just like, I like it. It's like the really, really like super hardcore, like, this is my waifu and I am promised only to her. And just like, oh my God, you neckbeardy son of a bitch. But again, we don't yuck somebody's yum. If he wants to marry a pillow, I'm all for it. I just don't like being like, I don't like being attempted to be condescended to because I don't like the art you like.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing where it's like, I love to argue about the art that I like and the art that I dislike, but at the end of the day, I really don't give a shit if you like it or not. I want you to be happy either way, but I also want you to be entertained with the fact that either I'm ribbing the things you like or we're in agreement and I'm destroying the things we hate together. Together. But so that's kind of like my whole thing with anime. But Ronin Warriors, fucking awesome. You just apply the in Audition, apply the AutoTune to my voice back there. Yep. And then actually just run AutoTune on my voice all the way to the end of the show.
Talking, just in AutoTune.
Just let it ride out like a T-Pain version of me came in and just ran it out for the last 5 minutes of our show.
It needs melody still though. Otherwise it just sounds like
right. Otherwise it just sounds like me normal, right? Because it's not going to try and do anything. But if I sing the song to my way,
kind of talk like this between shit and then go up and down.
So if I sing song my way to the end of the show,
the more you do this, I'm actually going to have to do auto-tune.
I know. Do you think that I am doing this because I don't want you to do the auto-tune?
Thanks, Richard.
Because I do. I want you to do it. So let me ask you this.
This one's going to take longer to get out because...
No, it's not. You're just going to get it done in the same amount of time because that's what the audience demands. They demanded it. I do have a question for you in closing before we close this whole thing up for this week. How do you feel? Are you going to buy an HTC Vive? You going to buy an Oculus Rift? Are you going to buy a PlayStation VR? Are you going to spend $800, $600, or $400 to VR it up?
Yeah, I'm to answer the question in some way, shape, or form. Yes, I am. I don't know which of those it will be as of this moment.
If I were to get one, I would get the Vive, not because it's the most expensive, but because when I'm wearing it, I could say, bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Ooh. And I fucks with that so deeply.
And it seems like it's worth $800 to just be able to say that. Because I can't be like, bitch, don't kill my Rift. Bitch, don't kill my PSVR.
No, that's it's something off about that.
It's super lame, but bitch, don't kill my Vive.
Yeah, from what I've read,
sounds real good.
The Vive, actually, that one and the Rift, I think, are the ones that provide the least amount of motion sickness.
Okay. Well, also I read that the Vive has the little boxes you set up in your living room to designate space, so when you actually move around, you're actually physically moving in the space. You're actually able to
use your environment.
Yeah, move around. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, whereas you're otherwise just sitting on a couch with wands. For what, PSVR? Oculus is what, the controller?
If you're playing Harry Potter, though, wouldn't you want to be sitting on the couch with a wand?
So
and really, when it comes down to it, Harry Potter is the only game we all want to play. Full 360 Quidditch coming to you on Steam VR via the HTC Vive. I could totally be a trailer guy. I want it so bad.
Totes.
I would just start laughing the whole time every time I have to do a trailer, which is like, in a world where fucking is this what we're doing? Is this really? Is this how this trailer starts?
Like every other one, huh? In a world. This is where we're going with this, huh?
After they fought, Batman and Superman thought that their friendship could endure everything. And that's when Darkseid came to town.
It's just that's a romantic comedy, like Darkseid split.
It's a mother's name.
Two men united by a common name, Martha. This summer, Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent explore the depths of their friendship.
You can't even do it,
dude. It's ridiculous. Well, I mean, like off the cuff, even like it just doesn't make it like it's so dumb.
It's just
next summer. Jason Momoa is Derek Zoolander in Aquaman.
The Essence.
Rated R, because why wouldn't it be? Oh, sweet Jesus. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for us here at the Best Flarking Podcast. We really appreciate you guys listening, and if you guys would do us a huge favor, and if you really like the show, please tell 2 people so we can pyramid scheme effect, because then those 2 people will become fans, and then the following week they tell 2 people, and so on and so forth.
It's just math.
And we build a following, and, then we win the internet eventually, and then we take your fucking spot from you, Chris Hardwick. You're going down. You're not going to be number 1 much longer, buddy.
That was maybe the best part of the it took us an hour and a minute to get there.
Throwing some shade at Chris Hardwick. But, because for some reason he's the target now.
Yep. Hey, aim for the top, man.
Exactly. But if you're not already a member liking the Best Flarking Network page on Facebook, go to facebook.com/motherflarker, and you can hit the little like button, and then all the stuff we post there, interact with us like that. We also have the new YouTube page, which will be where all of our new separate content will be going with the video stuff. That will be starting next-ish week, is how I think it's going to work out for the first set of reviews. I'm finishing up reviewing Batman Bad Blood right now. It's the newest Batman cartoon that came out. So I'll be doing a quick 10-minute mini cast about that one, and we'll be putting that one up on the site, as well as we're going to try and do something like a character profile and a Who Versus is what I want to call it, where we take a couple of characters and we make them fight. And I basically run the reason why I think one would win over the other. And you can argue with me in the comments and each other, because that's what the internet was made for, to bitch about stuff that is fictitious and let stuff that's real fall by the wayside. But our YouTube page, we will have the link in the post on our Facebook and in our SoundCloud info, because as it stands right now, we don't have enough subscribers to claim our own custom URL, so I can't tell you to go to where I want you to go because I don't have it yet.
We can just say Motherflarker everything, and they will find it, and they'll get there.
Yeah, so basically just, if you need to find us, shine the Flarker signal in the sky, or just, go to Twitter/Motherflarker, Instagram/Motherflarker, Motherflarker/Motherflarker.Motherflarker.
I could probably do us a favor by putting up a damn splash page at least on motherflarker.net. I'm doing us no favors by leaving that demo site up there.
You are doing us no favors. Chris Hardwick is laughing in our face right now. He's laughing at us. He's like, I have a show where I talk about The Walking Dead, and I have a really cool game show on Comedy Central, and I own a successful podcasting network.
And I got to talk to Sam Rockwell last week. That's what made me mention that to you. We're such big Sam Rockwell fans.
Yeah, I fucking love Sam Rockwell.
Voice, I was like, fuck, I want that to be next to me.
I want more Justin Hammer in the world of Marvel.
We do need it.
That's our real closing thought. If we can do anything to more Justin Hammer in the Marvel Universe, we should do that. We should do a Justin Hammer-based movie in the Marvel Universe, or give Justin Hammer his own goddamn Netflix series. Have him be a part of the Thunderbolts. Have him make the weapons for the Thunderbolts. Do that. Ooh. Do that, Marvel. Do what I say.
Hey, they did already.
Yeah, exactly. And they will do it again. All right, that's going to do it for us. You guys have been totally awesome.
So awesome.
We, on the other hand, have been
the Best Flarking Podcast.